everybody, and welcome back to the Star Wars Expanded Universe, narrated by Disney, or quote Lucasfilm, whichever way you slice it. Legends. I got work very, very soon, so it's gonna be kind of a quick one. So, today I have for you The Old Republic, Fatal Alliance by Sean Williams, I think. It's the same guy that did the 15, 16, and 17 of the New Jedi Order series. He also wrote the book, the novelization of The Force Unleashed. We follow multiple characters in this book. All of them are really interesting, I have to say. This book is really, really well written. Every character is pretty interesting. We get to know a little bit more about Satele Shan in this series, but not much. We focus on a bunch of other characters. We get to see the Kiffer, which is the same race that Quinlan Vos is, who we will meet later. My favorite character, though, of this entire book was Eula, who is this kind of double agent he's working as a senator or something of the sort in the Republic, but he actually works for the Empire. So that's interesting. This plot happens where they find out about these droids. These droids are dangerous. They're like biomechanical, but also machine. They can adapt to things really dangerous, a threat to the galaxy as a whole. And it's kind of the general synopsis of this book. It is a really slow read. This is not the best in the Old Republic timeline. It is definitely better than Red Harvest, but it is not better than Deceived. I feel like you'll either be 50-50, and it's hard for me to recommend this book to you. I think you'll either, enjoy it, or you'll hate it. I don't think you'll love it. I don't think anybody loves this novel in the expanded universe. So, I'd say if you've read everything else in the expanded universe, that this would be, or everything else in the Old Republic timeline, that you would read this. It's not a bad read, I don't think. Other people might disagree. I think it's just rather slow. Especially near the end, I was like, is this ever going to end? Like, it feels like it goes on for far too long. But that is pretty much it for non-spoilers, really. I don't have too much to say about this book, so. I only have a couple spoiler notes. If you don't want any sort of spoiler, then it's time for you to go. Otherwise, I'm going to get into it. So, one of the characters in this book, he's not a huge character, but he's also steals like every scene that he's in, is Jet Nebula. Jet Nebula, if you don't know, if you've seen the Return trailer for the Old Republic MMO, there was a guy with like this like cowboy hat. He's got this whole like outfit on, and he's currently being carted away by the Jedi till the Sith arrive. That's Jet Nebula. He's a smuggler. Think like Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, but he's actually unique enough. But he's actually really cool. I really like his character. The Hutt cartels get a bit of a focus in this series, not a big one. And I imagine the reason why is because of the fact that the next expansion, I guess, for the MMO will be the Rise of the Hutt cartels and then the Shadows of Revan. I don't know if that's actually the case, but that's what I thought it might be. As I mentioned, there are two characters in this book. One that's, just a normal person. Another one that's Force sensitive. The Force sensitive one is actually the apprentice to Satele Shan, which is kind of cool. But they're both Kiffer, which is the race that Quinlan Vos is from. So that's really cool. Or interesting, because we'll see Vos later on. Apparently the Treaty of Coruscant made the Empire and the Mandalorians kind of split up, like they went their separate ways, which I found kind of interesting. Not a big thing, like I said, I don't have too many notes, but it was interesting. And then basically, like, midway through the book, not even midway, earlier on in the book, they all head to Nal Hutta, and then they end up heading to this planet, and basically all the stories, are kind of separate, but they all converge, kind of like with Deceived and stuff, which I think is a better way of going with multiple stories, is to have them all converge into one, unlike what the Black Fleet trilogy did, where I mean, two of the stories did interconnect. The Luke and Lando one did, but the main one just had nothing to do with anything. The apprentice to Satil Shan that we meet in this book, that is the race of Quinlan Vos, he also has the same power that Quinlan Vos, I believe, will have in the Republic comics, which is psychometry or whatever, where you're able to pick up an object and you can kind of like see events that happened around that object, which is kind of interesting. And then lastly, by the end of the book, we're hearing about this droid being a big threat, which I guess, but when you have a man as powerful as the Emperor, like, I feel like he could easily stop these things. So I'm not that afraid, I guess, of the threat. So I can't really buy the threat. But regardless, that's how it is. And that's pretty much it. I don't have too much to say about this series. As I said, I think it's good. It's just really slow. And it took me a while to actually burn through this book. Because it's not that I was bored. I was just like, I got tired. I guess I was bored. But I think it's written well. And I really like the characters in the book. I wanted to end a little sooner. Maybe if the book was shorter, maybe I would have not been so about it. It's not a bad book. I don't think so. Red Harvest, I think, is a bad book. I don't think this one is bad. I don't even think it's I think it's good. It's just if you're not a person for slow stories, you won't enjoy it. And even me, who can handle short stories, I was getting kind of bored. But that's pretty much it. I think it's definitely worth your time if you haven't read it. If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Up next, we have some Old Republic comics, and then a short story, and the novel, again by my boy Drew Karpyshyn, who wrote my favorite trilogy, the Darth Bane trilogy, Annihilation, where we focus on the son of Satil Shan. So if you're excited to see that, come join me in my next video as we explore that in my next journey through the expanded universe. Until next time, guys, may the Force be with you.